What? A-Town, who's this?
Young Thug.
Young Thug?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him in my rotation right now. Don't you pay him?
Absolutely not. I mean, I'll add him today.
Hey, Ty, you know, we used to do this with Mike and Sheldon all the time. At some point, because you be bringing all the hits all the time, you got to put together your own playlist, and we got to make sure people know what you put down, and we're going to be posting that. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, about A-Town's playlist. How about that, man?
The A-list. How about that? The A-list.
Ooh, you better go on with that, girl. You better go on with that. You better go on with that, man. The A-list coming to I guess a computer or phone near you. Mm-hmm. That's how we're getting down. And speaking of getting down, man, we're so fortunate to have a young lady who got her hands on everything.
Yes.
In particular, down in the Charlotte area, but covers all things Carolina. Has an organization called the Carolina Blitz, and she's been on our show many times, and so happy to have her back rocking with us, man. She's the CEO of all things associated with Carolina Blitz. Welcome back to the Sports Shop. CEO, owner, marketer, Vashti Hurt. Good morning, Vashti. How you doing?
Amazing.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired, but we making it. I'm tired already.
I understand.
So that's a good thing.
Well, hey, I thank you for giving us a little of your time. I know you got a lot going on, and we so happy to have you on because we've been going. I have to be honest with you. We've been coming down pretty hard on the Panthers because didn't quite understand what was going on. We saw you. We was down there for the ACC Media Day, and then we had a chance to go to practice, and of course you covered them. And then all of a sudden, we was complaining about the ones not playing, Bryce not getting there the first couple of preseason games. And I have to be honest with you, yesterday I said on the show, I was just blown away with the first drive of the Panthers. Seemed like Dave Canales either got everybody kind of fooled a little bit, or what's your take on what you saw
That's what I want to know.
Over the weekend?
It was refreshing. It's been rough for the Panthers, and even covering the team since Frank Reich, honestly. And so the offense has been anemic. There doesn't seem to be any cohesion.
Yeah.
Just no identity. And I think they're still trying to find the identity. But the fact that they were able to come out on that first drive, protection looks good by the offensive line. Bryce looked accurate. He even scrambled and put his head down and took a hit. I wouldn't advise him to do that too often, but he did.
Right.
I think Chuba was averaging about 5 yards per rush, and it looked good from an offensive standpoint. I don't think anybody really cares about the defense at this point because the offense has been so bad. But it was exactly what you wanted to see from that starting group against, even I don't care whether it was a second string.
Right.
Bills
They're pros.
Defense.
They're
that
pros.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. What we saw was refreshing. And then one thing I pointed out in the article, I remember last year against the Vikings, Bryce Young, it was a dead ball, and Bryce Young took a late hit. And none of the offensive line, none of the players got up in that guy's face from Minnesota. And then the Vikings then started hyping up the crowd, which had more Vikings fans than Panthers fans.
Right.
Because there was a false start. And I was like, man, they just knocked your rookie number one quarterback down to the ground during a dead ball and nobody gets in his face.
Right.
The first series, I think it was either the second or third play, Bills defender took the whistle had gone off, and a Bills defender took Jatavion Sanders to the ground, and Icky immediately got in his face. And to me, that's just energy. Like the dog of your team starts in those trenches, and if other people barking and they not biting back, then you're getting punked, honestly. Honestly, and so to see that, to me, that was one of the most impressive things. That like Icky didn't even hesitate. He was like, "Nah, man, we're not gonna do that." And that's how you set a tone for your team. That's how you set a tone when it comes to opponents. And so that was good good to see, in my opinion.
Wow.
That's awesome. And I can see how that's so refreshing. We're talking to Carolina Blitz CEO Vashti Hurt. Talking to Bryce after the game and coming off of the last time that he was on the field, you know, from the negative comments to, like you said, the hits and things like that. Was this a big confidence booster for him?
You know, Bryce is going to downplay it. and that's just that's his nature. I don't know. You know, I think that's just how he's been raised, to be very even keel.
Yep.
Don't have too many highs and don't have too many lows. And that's probably a good thing. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more emotion from him. I think that will come as he becomes more comfortable with his role and as a quarterback in the league. And then it would also come with success, in my opinion. However, obviously, I think it was a confidence booster. We've seen him look good in practice. And he dotted up that Jets defense. That's considered one of the top 5 in the league during that joint practice. And everybody was like, that's a joint practice. It doesn't mean anything. But he dotted them up. And he was looking good in practice, and Canales was saying it, but it didn't mean anything because the masses didn't see it in the game format. And so then everybody saw it in a game format. And I think that takes a little bit of pressure off of not just Bryce, but everyone. But it has to be a confidence booster for them to come out and put together a scoring drive on that first possession. And now it's just time to get to work for that first game at New Orleans.
Wow, man. We talked to Vashti Hurt of Carolina Blitz, and if you want to follow her, you can follow her at Carolina Blitz, and if you want to understand what's going on with the Panthers in all things Carolina, man, it's a great follow. But my question, Vashti, is so evaluating the coach. Is he sneaky smart, or you feel like you got a good feeling about how he's handling the team and preparing the team and getting ready for next week?
I think he's extremely driven, very detail oriented. I think, as opposed to what Frank Wright did, he surrounded himself with his guys. I think Frank Wright put together a bunch of guys that were hot names and thought it was going to gel, and it didn't. I think Lord have mercy. I think Dave Canales. I think Dave Canales got a bunch of his homies who he thought were smart and promising and put them on his coaching staff. Okay. And that means something. You know, when you're president, when you become president, you get your cronies around you because the expectation is that they're going to shield you, right? Yes. They're going to support you. They're going to bolster you. You don't bring in a bunch of different people that you don't know. And so that's what Dave has done. For now, I think he's a real deal. He has been consistent with his demeanor, and from what I've been told, that is always him. Like, I've never seen somebody so cheery and so happy, and I'm like, bro, this got to be fake. Like, who is who's like this all the time? No, honestly, everybody has bad days, right? Yeah. And so, but we don't see bad days from him. I might see a little bit of, he might be perturbed, but he doesn't. He seems to be the same person all the time. And what I'm gonna be honest. To me, a testament to his coaching is how Jack Plummer looked this past game. Jack Plummer was so terrible against the Patriots. It was abysmal. And he looked decent in that last pregame against the Bills. And I was like, wow, like the strides that he's made, I hope it's not a fluke, but the strides that he made from the first preseason to the third preseason game was incredible. And I think that you got to give Canales and that staff credit for that. And so, you hope that he's legit. Okay. We heard Tua, what he said about his coaching change. I don't know, that's
So you said Bryce. She said Bryce will come out and say the same thing next year.
He would never say that. He would never say that. He would never say that. But he could be thinking it.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
We're talking to Vashti Hurt with the Carolina Blitz. My final question is, I always like when you say who's got that dog, on the field, but who's the dog in the locker room? Who's the leader? Is it Bryce yet?
No. It's not Bryce. It's
Right.
Shaq. It's Shaq Thompson right now. I mean, he's been there for what? I don't know if he's in double digits yet.
That maybe
but
10
he's
years.
He's been with the Panthers the longest. I think he's one of just a few guys who have actually seen a winning season in Carolina. The team will take their cues from Shaq Thompson. Shaq Thompson on defense, and also Derek Brown. I think on offense it has to be Bryce by default.
Yeah.
Because he's the starting quarterback. I think that also we'll see more of Deontay Johnson being a leader, and then Adam Thielen. Along the offensive line, it's got to be Taylor Moton. They got to take their cues from Taylor Moton, who is also one of the more tenured guys. And then eventually, I think Robert Hunt, depending on how well he plays, he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be very vocal. But, you know, from what I see, and we haven't been in the locker room yet, I think we start being able to go into the locker room next week. But just what I've seen from training camp, those will be your leaders on the team on both sides of the ball. But we're talking about one leader, Shaq Thompson.
Shaq Thompson.
Quick update on is it Leggett? How you pronounce his name?
Yeah,
Leggett.
Leggett.
Got to hold the Lee.
You got to hold
Yeah,
it.
you got to hold the E. He told us, he said you got to hold the E.
Leggett.
Yeah, give an update on Leggett. What's going on with him injury wise?
Oh, he played in this past preseason game, so he's good to go. He did have a drop. I just think that those were nerves. He's a guy that tends to beat himself up if he doesn't perform well, so I expect that he'll be out there and ready to go week 1.
Okay, good.
I think the Panthers will start. I mean, outside of the injuries that we know about, I think that they'll start week 1 on the offensive side pretty healthy.
Yeah. You expect them to try to any moves with these cuts? I think a lot of times, a lot of people try to show up their rosters because they may get lucky and get some guys that can come help them. They may get cut from other teams. Anything out there?
Yeah, I think they will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who.
Yeah.
But I definitely think they need help at that edge rusher position. Their starting cornerback got injured.
Yep.
They have signed somebody. I'm really not familiar with these guys that they've signed. But if somebody on the waiver wire is going to help them and be better, and Canales said that yesterday, then we're going to get them, and that's just what it is. And so those are the two positions that stick out to me. They could use a little depth along that offensive line, and that's pretty much it. I don't know if they're going to keep Plummer as that third emergency quarterback or not, or if they'll maybe get somebody else. But we'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised that edge rusher, maybe cornerback.
Oh, well,
offensive line.
We'll definitely be looking out. So she's going to join us once a month. I'm going to get her to commit once a month. You know,
put it down.
I'm trying to do once a week, Reese. I really want to do once a week. I really want to do once a week.
We're going to work it out. When you're available.
We'll work our way up there.
Yeah, that's right. So my point is, when you're available, we'll lock in. Seriously, because we know you're busy because you do such a good job. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Yes.
We follow you, and you can follow her at the Carolina Blitz. Vashti, I appreciate you always. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Take care.